get see me. Humble myself, some I die daily. Me, humble myself.
Rollout Part 2. We're now with Robin Thompson, also known as Assassin, who's come from the streets, now Reverend, now a director of a big charity within Birmingham called Bringing Hope. And his mission and vision is basically to bring change and transformation on the streets within inner city community and to allow everybody to experience the second chance that he was given.
For real. You know, this is Rollout Part 2 and I'm honoured and privileged to do this. Coming from the inner city, I was born in the 60s. I'm first generation. And I was born on Heathfield Road, which a lot of people didn't realise there used to be a hospital on Heathfield Road, so right in the ghetto, as they would say. And it's interesting that I was physically born on Heathfield Road, went to various schools, but at the age of 9, 10, going into secondary school, no school in the inner city, no school in Birmingham wanted me. I was off the rails. And the only school that accepted me was a school all the way in the sticks, as we call it, which is Castlevale Camp. And my first day at Castlevale Camp, I got the cane, because I was just notorious for fighting teachers, kicking off. And then from there, by the time I reached the second year, which was 12, I was kicked out of the school. So no school in Birmingham would take me in. But one thing that took me in by that time was the streets, the road. And when I look back on the road, and I went to various places, you know, at 14, I lived in London by myself, up and down, walking by myself, doing what I gotta do to survive. Come back to Birmingham in the 80s, and I landed up Barker Street, where my brothers were, and a place called Tree. And Tree for me was a sense of community, was a place where I got back to know where I was born and where I grew up. And with Tree, there used to be Acapulco over the road. And Acapulco was a spot where anything you want, you get in. I just saw it run. But in that era, there used to be, as I call it, 3 spots. There used to be Night Spot, Tree, and Frontline. And for me, from a street perspective, it was the 3 routes from where many different things emerged on the front. So that stretch of road from Lazarus Villa Road right up to Soar Road was I call it a 3-mile stretch. This is my one understanding of it. And within that you could buy different things where you want. Everything you need, you get in that spot. But you know what? Time go on. Because when I drive through and look at it now, there's not much physical remembrance of what went on. But in all that time, God was dealing with me, because them said nothing good can come out of ghetto. I lie that. There's enough good people in the zone. And it's time now to roll out. Then I got to my first place in the zone, and I started to live in a place called Crampton Road. And in Crampton Road is where I met Jesus Christ. I didn't meet God in no church, because church never know how to reach me. And it was this spot here that I was born again. So literally born again in the very mile away from where I was physically born. God is great, because it shows us that it don't matter who you are, what you've come from, the Almighty is there. And my street name Assassin come because, you know what? It expressed who I was, what I was about. Very serious, very straightforward, and very down to earth. And this spot here, I remember one night I had a list And on that list, it was to determine who I was going to take out at that time. And I says, God, if you're real, I need you right now to turn up and deal with me. And in that time period, God turned up. The Spirit of God touched me in the church out on the front on Lazarus. And it was there that I met Jesus for the first time, and he touched me in a very powerful way. And that night he delivered me from drugs, delivered me the same night, same hour of 20 odd years of drug abuse, free in one night, 1 hour. God is real, God's rolling out. And then from there, my journey began walking in 1991 in a different man, a new man, a different man. And in that journey, many different things happened. And one of the most significant, in 2009, I was rushed to hospital. As a man, me not like hospital, you know. And I was rushed to hospital. And they told me I had 2 collapsed lungs, double pneumonia, and multiple blood clots. 3 killer in one. And that meant I had 48 hours to live. And in that 48 hours, God revealed to me and showed me that he was God, because even now doctors don't know how I've recovered. So for me, it's important for people to know it don't matter who you are, don't matter where you've come from, don't matter what you've been through in life, you have the right to a second chance. And that is the gospel message, and that is the truth in why Christ came and died and rose again, so that we could roll out and have that second chance. This is nothing good can happen, but I look back now from the 70s till then, what have I achieved? And what I've achieved, I just give God the glory. So for instance, I've passed my masters in my MBA. No one says that could be done. I'm married with my children, my wife, 5 children and a grandfather. So when they say that nothing good can come out of the ghetto, is a lie. We can put what we need to put in and get out what we need to get out, because God is our strength. So bless up every time, yeah? And peace. Something good can come out of the ghetto. That's my word. That's my bond. That's my message. One love, one community, one God. Amen. So big up to Skipper and all of the family, Bringing Hope family, and all of my community. We are Rollout, yeah? Different things are going on. Peace out.
Yeah, so you've heard Robin's story, and you've heard what he's about and what he's come from. Yeah, this is part 2 to Rollout. Now, if you're listening to this and you're watching this, understand that God, Christ, is on a real thing. And if you've got a rollout to talk about, get in contact. You know GLI's number, or phone me. You know we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. Get in contact. But it's not for no joke thing, it's not for no pretty hand clap thing. This is the real stuff. Going back on the streets and rolling out and making people know where God's took us from.
Listen to what we say. It's not man.